You can't pour from an empty cup. And if you're empty, how the hell can you pour into yourself?
Baby, I'm talking crazy. I need you running my space, but I need it, baby. I'm late, but I still can check in with you.
What's up, y'all? It's your girl Deja, D-Days, Lil Days, Sincerely Days, whatever you want to call me, and I'm back with a mother video, okay? Today I come to you and I present to you a different type of vibe. We're on a different type of vibe today, but no, seriously, we are doing a different video from what I normally do. You know, I be doing my little bariatric videos. I might throw a little sprinkle of a wig review. Today, we're doing something different. So, if you don't know, I got my BSW in May of 2021, and I'm working on my MSW currently, and I'm in the process of doing like my internship, you know, the last little phase, and I'll be getting my MSW in August. So, being a social work major, you know, if you are a social work major, they throw self-care down your throat from the beginning, which I love, because before I got into this program, I didn't know what self-care was. I didn't know there was a word for taking care of yourself. Like, you think to most people this is something that comes easy, but not me. I didn't know nothing about self-care. It wasn't practiced in my household. Self-care, girl, you better get up and go, okay? We don't talk about that. But you know, this is something that I think that social media has really taken its taking self-care by the arm and swung it around social media, and it's a topic on every platform. You see stuff about self-care on TikTok through quotes and videos, and on Instagram through long messages. They have whole pages dedicated to self-care, and that's what I want to talk about today, self-care. So without further ado, let's get into the video. Okay, so I want to start this video by just talking about what is the dictionary definition of self-care. And I took the time to Google what is self-care, and this is what came up. So if y'all see me looking down, I have a notepad right here. I'll be reading off of this just for reference. So the definition of self-care, according to Google, self-care is defined as the practice of taking action to preserve or improve one's health, or the practice of taking an active role in protecting one's own well-being and happiness, in particular, especially during periods of stress. Now, let's assess this. When we think about the definition of self-care, the first thing that comes to mind is taking care of up here. But to me, personally, self-care is more than just taking care of your mind. When's the last time you've taken yourself to the dentist and got your teeth cleaned and checked to see if you had cavities? When's the last time, as a woman, you know, has it been past those 2 years that you might need to go see your OBGYN? How's your girlfriend doing down there? Like, you might be sexually active. When's the last time you had an STD test? Those are the things, you know, that are also within self-care in my eyes. You know, taking care of your body. How's your body doing on the inside? What are you consuming? Like, what are you eating? Like, are you eating fast food every day? Have you gotten your greens in? Have you taken some vitamins? Those things are self-care too, and people fail to realize that. So I think self-care overall is one, checking in with yourself, mind, body, soul, spirit, physical, all the things, and let's see what we can do about it to make it better. Because the next note that I have on here is, I could talk about it all day, how specifically Black women, we have high, most of us are walking through here having high functioning depression. If you don't know why, and this could apply to anybody other than Black women. Actually, I could make a whole video about how Black women have a high functioning depression, but that's neither here or there. We're talking about just self-care in general. But yes, a high functioning self-care is a thing. High functioning self-care can look like the perfect Patty. This person can dress well every day. This person can have a beat face every day, dress well, take care of the kids, have this perfect family life. But on the inside, they're really depressed, and that's what you call high functioning depression. And depression has many looks, and people don't really realize that. It's not, I mean, it can look like this, and these are like indicators that are clearly there. This person might not have showered in a week. They might not have answered the calls when their mom, dad, and their friends have tried to call and check in on them. Like, that's depression. But depression can look normal too. Depression right now, like, by the way, I am fine, I am great, I am thriving. But you could look like me and still be depressed. That's the thing. So I just think that we should be more mindful, and we should check in with ourselves more. And I know that for some people, sometimes self-care can feel like another task. And I'm very aware, and I know that, self-care and self-care activities can seem like another daunting task on your already long list. But it's important to note your capacity, and at what point do you need to do self-care, and where can you fit it in your schedule. It's all workable. So I try to check in with myself every day, but I know that's not possible because of my schedule. On Monday, I might have time to, really assess myself, and see where I'm at, and maybe do something that I love. But there's other days where I'm working from 9 to 5. I have something to do after work, and then I get home at like 8 or 9, and it's time to go to bed and start the day again. So I know self-care can seem really daunting on people. Like, I already have all these things to do. Why do I have to add something else just to check in with myself? That can mean, okay, like I said, capacity matters. That can mean you might not be able to check in with yourself every day, but you know that on Sundays at 7, you're going to check in with yourself, and you're going to do your self-care activity. Setting out time can work for you. It just depends on the person. It depends on the schedule, and et cetera, et cetera. So I also want to talk about how self-care can be neglected in the midst of all the things. So school, for example, I know a lot of the people that subscribe to me and follow me, we are in college. I'm in college at the moment, and sometimes my self-care gets neglected. I am not perfect, okay? And I try to preach self-care to all the people that I know, but like, I sometimes neglect it too. School gets stressful. Especially, I feel like I neglected it a lot when I was in undergrad, because I was in clubs, I had a part-time job, and then I was in school full-time. I was in school all day. When I got out of school, I had to walk to where I worked, right? I went to work. I had to walk to the bus station. I didn't have a car. I had to walk to the bus station where I caught the bus, and then I got home. By the time I got home, it was 9 o'clock. And then you have to read for these classes and prepare for these tests. Where the hell can self-care fit in there, right? It can get lost in the midst of all that. Just like it can be lost in the midst of being a mother. Now, I am not a mother. I don't have any kids, but I am the oldest of 5 kids, okay? That's close enough, okay? I understand dealing with kids, having to make sure they're fed, especially if they're young, they're fed, they're clean, and then on top of that, if you're married, making sure your husband, if you're that type of wife, then make sure the husband is fed, and make sure the house is together, make sure all the financials are together, all the things. If your kids are in sports, you gotta go to games and practices and all that. It can be really hard to get self-care in there. Where is the time for you, right? They're like, I don't know. We're gonna get into some things that you could do. Because some people, they fail to realize self-care is more than just bubble baths and wine and masks. That is self-care if that's for you. Everybody's self-care looks different, and we'll get into it later in the video. Anyways, another thing that has you neglect your self-care is work. Right? Let's say like for me, I'm a perfect example. I work a regular 9 to 5. By the time I get home, I don't want to do anything. Sometimes I don't even want to feed myself. I just want to shower and get into bed. But if you're a person that likes to work out and you neglect that, you're neglecting your self-care. There's you got to maneuver. Work work, for example, can have you lose that. And the reason why I say that is because I was an advocate. I think I talked about this in one of my other videos. I was working out all the time. Once I started this job that I have now, when I get home, I don't want to do that. So I'm still trying to maneuver myself back into that schedule. But work can get in the way of things, right? 4 would be neglecting your needs to tend to others' needs. This is a big one. This is one of the things that tends to probably be the highest thing. Well, one of the highest things. I'm giving you all 4 of them, but I feel like this is a really important one. You neglect your self-care trying to cater to everybody's needs but your own. Girlfriend calling you, bestie calling you, mama calling you, daddy calling you, brother, sister, cousin calling you. You're tending to all their needs, but you're forgetting about yourself. Do you ask yourself before they call you and they dump on you, do you even have the capacity to listen to what they're saying right now? Do you have anything to give to them right now? I think that a lot of that could be avoided if you just let them know, like, hey, listen, I had a long day today and I hear that you're going through something right now, but I think that, maybe you should call me another day to talk about this because I don't have the capacity to listen to what you're telling me right now. I have my own stuff going on. You gotta talk to somebody else today. And you can say it politely. You gotta say it like that. But you can say it politely. It doesn't have to be all of that. But, people, like, especially me, I'm such a, I'm always trying to be there for people. And sometimes I neglect myself. My dang, like this person calling me. I don't think I have the capacity to talk to them right now. And I'll still do it even though I don't want to. I'm low-key a people pleaser. I'm working on it though. But yeah, like now what I do, and some of my friends hate it, but it is what it is. I keep my phone on silent the entire day. I don't care if I'm at work. If I'm expecting a call, like an important call, I'll leave it on. But I turn my ringer off. If I don't get to you, I don't get to you. And when I do, I will. If I want to. So yeah. And I just want to end this section off by saying, you can't pour from an empty cup. And if you're empty, how the hell can you pour into yourself? You better love you first. But anyways, I could go on about loving yourself first. But we gonna go to the next thing. We're gonna go to the next thing. So some ways to practice self-care. I'm gonna give y'all a few tips. Take what you want and leave what you don't. Okay? 3 things that I think are important before I even get into the things that you can use to practice self-care is to make it intentional. Now, if one of the things you do for self-care is I would like to binge watch a series or a Netflix series or anything like that. Ask yourself, if you have other things to do that day, is it a smart idea to watch the entire series in one sitting? Maybe watch an episode or 2 and get back to what you have to do, because we don't want to turn self-care into procrastination, because self-care can turn into procrastination. Somebody catch that nugget. Don't let self-care turn into procrastination. If you need a time to breathe throughout the day, like if you work from home, for example, step away from your computer for a minute. But don't step away from the entire work day, because you're neglecting and you're neglecting what you have to do. You know what I mean? It's levels to self-care. Okay? The second thing I want you to keep in mind is do something that truly is for you. Now, the picture of self-care that we have today is bubble baths and wine and masks. While that may be self-care for some people, that might not be self-care for you. Okay? Be truthful with yourself. Did that mask do anything for you? Did that bubble bath do anything for you? The glass of wine might do a little something. But be for real. Did that do anything for you? So we got to be intentional, and we have to make sure too that the self-care that we're practicing is true to us and something that we actually want to do. Okay? And lastly is do it for you. Don't do it because social media said do it. Don't do it because D-Dage, Lil Dage, Deja, Sincerely Day said to do it. Do it because you feel like you need it and you actually want to do it. Period. Okay? All right. So I have 10 ideas for self-care that you can take from here that you might not even realize is self-care, but it can make a difference in your everyday life. And some of these things pertain to me, and it makes me feel good, and I thought I should share it with you. So one of the self-care ideas I have is to clean your space. Imagine coming home from work and your space is chaotic. Clothes everywhere, dishes not done, floor not swept. That's not gonna feel good. At least for me, it doesn't feel good. And this could be your home that you clean, your car that you clean. Now, I say car because you get in your car, and what's in the middle console? Cups from Cane's and Chick-fil-A, receipts all on the floor, chaotic in your car. Don't you want to get in your car? It smells good. You probably feel better about going to work if your car was clean. You know, I'm just saying. And another space you can clean is your workspace. I am a true believer in having a clean workspace. How the hell am I supposed to work with everything all scattered on my desk? When I first started this year, I let my desk in my area go at my job. And one day I was like, I'm tired of this. And when I had some downtime, I cleaned my desk and I feel so much better. And I keep it clean. I make sure to leave it clean every time I leave for the day. So the next day I come, it doesn't look like a pigsty. You know what I mean? So maybe that works for you too. The next one would be to cook your favorite meal. This could be something that you grew up eating, or you just like, you know, it makes you feel good. Cook for yourself, sis. And if you don't cook for yourself, 3 will be getting dolled up and taking yourself to a really nice restaurant. Or it don't even have to be a fancy schmancy. You could get dolled up and take yourself somewhere that you've never been before and you want to try new food. Boom. You getting a new change of scenery. You're around people. Maybe you sit at the bar and you can chit chat with people at the bar. See, I like doing stuff like that because I am a people person and I like being around people and socializing. So those are things that I like to do for self-care. Maybe that can help you too. Watch a nostalgic movie. Girl, you go on the Disney Channel app, the Disney Plus app, and go put you on some Cheetah Girls. Make you feel like a kid again. Like when the times were so much simpler. Or High School Musical, or something that you like. Me, my favorite black film is Brown Sugar. So like, if I am like, oh, I want something that makes me feel good, I want to watch something, I'm gonna put on Brown Sugar. That's my favorite movie. Put on your favorite nostalgic movie, and there you go. And then, like I said, this might be number 6 is gonna be something that may be for somebody else, but it might not be for you. But you can have a spa day at the house. This is a very generic way to do self-care. Everybody knows this way. You know, put on a mask, do a bubble bath, get some wine, cuddle up and put some R&B in the back and just vibe out for the night. That might work for you. That's not my typical way of wanting to do self-care all the time, but sometimes I do need that. I try not to drink during the week. Just so like I'm not groggy the next day. But like, look, if I had a long day and I just need to unwind, I get the wine and I sit on my couch and I put my R&B playlist on off Spotify, okay? And then number 7, this is probably the best thing I ever did in my life. I learned so much about myself. I've conquered a lot of my past trauma, my childhood trauma that, you know, I couldn't heal on my own. Register for therapy. I would advise, if you're gonna be doing looking for therapists and things like that, one, try looking in within your network, and you know, cause if we're gonna do therapy, it gotta be you know, it ain't gotta be an arm and a leg for therapy. Look within your network with your insurance and see what you can find. And like for me, I looked within my network. I knew I wanted somebody in my network. I knew I wanted a black therapist, right? And I knew I wanted to find somebody that was virtual, because the way my schedule set up, having to drive to therapy ain't gonna work. So just be mindful of that. But I think therapy is great. I know within the black community, therapy is shunned upon. But listen, honey, it will change your life. And there's this thing called preventative care. That means getting care before something actually happens. You don't want to be at your lowest point, and then you're gonna go seek therapy. If there's something that you've been through in your childhood that still triggers you to this day, therapy might help you till you get, instead of you get into that breaking point and, you know, it'd be too late, you know? So preventative care, do it, girl. 8, beautiful thing. Dive more into your faith. I am working on being better at this, but like doing devotionals, reading the word. If you're a Christian, reading your Bible. Listen, I'm a Christian and I am a believer of Jesus Christ, that he is our savior and he died on the cross for our sins. Okay, that's my faith. So this is what I'm saying. Reading the Bible more, getting deeper into your devotionals, maybe joining a church Bible study, maybe getting with your spouse, y'all go to church together. You know, that might be your self-care. And I'm telling you, in my experience, hey, he'll do it. That's all I'm gonna say, period. The next one would be getting a new hairstyle, switching up your hairstyle. I love switching up my hair. Like this hairstyle, I'm probably wear it for like 1 more week and then I'm gonna do something else. No. Yeah, 1 more week and I'm gonna wear something else, okay? Because I like to give the girls looks. I like to give the girls versatility. I think that's the word. I like to switch it up a little bit. You know what I mean? So, yeah. Get a new hairstyle, dude. A new hairstyle, a new cut, a new color.
A new style, a new haircut, a new cut, a new color.
Do it. And then lastly, this is the 10th one, and I'm going to let y'all go, is to get active. Okay, so initially when I wrote this down, I wrote get active for like getting in the gym, maybe start running, joining a Zumba class or something like that. Getting active can mean, you know, some people want to get active and go to like nonprofits and volunteer. That's a way to get active. Joining a club, maybe a book club, and getting active with your reading. Getting active is subjective to you, okay? So yes, I hope that you take all these things into consideration when you're wondering, dang, I want to practice more self-care. There's so many other things that I didn't mention that you can do, like journaling. And journaling can be writing things down on like a with a pen and pad, or it can be straight up doing video diaries. It's up to you. Make self-care your own. Make your self-care personal to you. Whatever makes you feel good, girl, do it. Boy, do it. Whoever's watching, do it, okay? Do your thing. This year, I want you to make a promise to love yourself more, to take care of yourself in all aspects, physically, mentally, on the outside. Go get your hair did, go get your nails did, buy a new outfit, buy some new earrings, get a piercing, get a tattoo, get your lashes done, get your eyebrows done, go get a pedi, do it, get your hair braided, do what you want to do. Go on vacation, travel, see the world. Whatever self-care is to you, I want you to make a promise to yourself to do it for you. And that's how I'm gonna end the video. And speaking of self-care, I want to say I love you. Okay, I don't know who you is watching me. I love you. And I hope that this video helped you in some way. And I will see y'all in the next video. Peace.